Alright, so I'm going to do a walk around and explain a little bit about how I did this. So, in case you don't know about this truck, I've been building it since it was completely stock. It used to be a 5.0 automatic two-wheel drive truck. I swapped it to a 306-cylinder manual transmission four-wheel drive truck and rode around with the TTB front end on it for a little while and ended up getting a good deal on a Dana 44 solid axle, so went that route. First thing, before you even say anything, yes, I know my track bar, which is that guy right there, I know it's supposed to be level with the drag link. I'm still building it. So anyway, I got a Dana 44, come out of a 78, 79 Bronco F150, something like that. Put it under here. It's pretty much everything bolts up. You got to modify some things a little bit. The axle came with 1-ton steering. It's got the heim joints all the way around. I had to get a piece welded in here from a machine shop because that drag link was a little too short. I got the axle. I had to completely rebuild it. Everything inside and hubs and whatnot, everything's brand new. Axle shafts are used, but they're new. Because the guy that had it ran it without any oil in it and tore it up completely, so I had to completely rebuild it. I flipped he had the tie rod under the knuckle. I ended up flipping it to the top just to give it a little better clearance from stumps or rocks or whatever, keep it from bottoming out. Went ahead and threw all grade 8 bolts all the way around. Everything's got grade 8 bolts. That doesn't hit, in case you were wondering. 513 gears, front and rear. I also did the rear end. It's got 4-inch drop brackets on top of this is how I got it. They were on the factory radius arm brackets. Radius arms are not level like they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be a few inches lower, but I got some 7-degree bushings that go 7-degree bushings that go in here that will kick the axle back a little bit and fix the caster, because right now the caster is perfectly up and down and kind of wanders the road a little bit. It's not too bad. And I also, you can kind of tell here, move the axle forward about 2 inches, maybe a little more, from the factory location. That gives you a little better approach angle. You see how much closer it is to the front bumper. I didn't cut the bumper. It was like that when I got it. Ditched the 6-inch lift. Got the Skyjacker 9-inch stuff. If you want Skyjacker 9-inch springs, that's your part number. The shocks, I don't remember what the part number is, but it's 7 to 9-inch lift, I think it is. Brake lines, that's the stock TTB brake lines. Oh shit. Can't really see. It's the stock brake lines, but they're Rough Country's lifted brake lines. Are like 6-inch lift brake lines. They work, but you have to flip them around backwards than what they're intended to be. This axle did not have the shock mounts, so I had to improvise. Got a long ass grade 8 bolt and I stuck it through there, and it's been working fine. These are the lockout hubs from my TTB front end, the 95 front axle. They work on 79s. It's all the same things. Dana 44. Oh shit. I had my buddy weld me a track bar bracket, but I'm gonna get him to cut that off and re-weld it lower. Because I need the track bar to be at the same level as the drag link. That way, I didn't know that until after I started talking to some people, and they're like, yeah, that needs to be at the same level. So it helps with steering. I had to cut the cross member. I really did not like doing that, but gotta do what you gotta do. There was some little tab right here. I don't remember what it was. I don't know exactly what it's for. I think it was for the dual shocks or something like that. That side didn't have it, but I cut that off because at full lock, the tie rod would hit it. Also ditched the 16x8 rims. I got 16x10s with a 3.5 or a 4-inch back spacing, something like that. These are Pacers. These aren't Mickey Thompsons, but they'll work. I had to get camber bushings. You can't really see it. You'll be able to see it. Anyway, the factory axle has a little bit of camber. It just looks like this now because it's sitting on unlevel ground. You can kind of see that one straight. It has like a little bit of positive camber. I don't know why. It was pretty significant whenever I got the axle and put it on the truck and looked at it, and I was like, oh yeah, something's up with that. So anyway, that is 12 inches of lift in the front, 9-inch springs, 3-inch body. This is my eye level right here at the hood. This thing's fucking huge. The front drive shaft worked as it was. It is kind. You can kind of see. It's kind of close to the cross member, but I haven't had an issue with it hitting, even when I flex and tuck tire really hard. When this side drops, and this drive shaft is in, I believe it's backwards. I think the slip joint in the drive shaft is supposed to be on this end, but I flipped it around backwards. That gives you a little better clearance. That yoke is off of a TTB front end. I had to swap it out because the 79 front drive shaft uses a different U-joint than the 95 drive shaft. So it's the 95 is a little bit bigger. So I had to swap that out. Pretty much bolted right up, just set the bearing, tension, whatever. Got that right. It is fully spooled in the front. There's a mini spool in the carrier in there. The reason I did that is because when the hubs are unlocked, these are manual hubs, when the hubs are unlocked and the transfer case is unlocked, the front drive line doesn't do anything other than roll. The U-joints and axle shafts and drive shafts should not be spinning while you're driving down the road. So, did that. Pulls fucking great. Seems like it pulls the truck over obstacles. Like, say if I was going over a tree or something, like a decent sized tree laying down, you got the front end lock, it seems like it kind of pulls the truck over instead of, the rear wheels being locked up and it just pushing the truck over. Let's talk about the rear end. I have done a shackle flip. This side. Yeah, see a little better. I did a shackle flip. Drilled the rivets, or cut the rivets out, and then flipped the leaf hanger upside down. And then These are 2.5-inch lift shackles for a Ford Ranger. For whatever reason, this is a 93 truck. It has 2.5-inch wide leaf springs. The most other F-150 is like, you see that one over there? That's a 95. For whatever reason, it has 3-inch wide leaf springs, and every other truck I've ever seen has it. So, fortunately, you know, that worked great. The shackle flip give me about 2 inches, I think, something like that. Yeah, 2 inches of lift. That was another 2.5. I got stock 2-inch lift blocks. That bottom leaf spring in the pack is Rough Country's 2.5-inch add-a leaf. The next one up that's cut right here, that is from a Chevy 1500. I just cut it out and, you know, got the length right and made it work on both sides. You can see the spring has a nice arch to it. Rough Country 4 to 6 inch lift shocks that were intended for the 4 to 6 inch lift from Rough Country that was originally on here with the TTB front end, but got rid of that, and the shocks are perfect length, so they have plenty of travel. It'll drop the rear end pretty far. 8.8, this is out of a 91, I believe it is. Yeah, I think it's a 91 or a 90 F-150. I didn't know it until I pulled the cover off originally. I thought it was an open diff, but it's actually a limited slip, which is great. Put 513 gears in there. Got a notched cross pin, so I didn't have to cut the gears or anything. Honestly, I feel like 513s are a little low. Like, at 60 miles an hour in 5th gear with this truck, it seems like the engine's turning kind of fast. It doesn't have a tachometer, so I don't really know, but and it has it's an earlier 8.8, so it has a different pinion. It's not like the one that has the double flange thing, so the U-joint just bolts right to the pinion. Unfortunately, and I had to move the rear end back about an inch. Reason being, with all the lift on the spring, it moved the axle too far forward, so it sat like 1.5 inches too far forward in the wheel well. It was really close to this side of the fender, so moved it back, and unfortunately that arose another problem. I gotta get a longer drive shaft. This is 50 inches exactly from the center of the U-joint to the center of the U-joint. I gotta get a 52 inch. There's still about 1.5 inches, 2 inches of splines in there. I just don't come off the clutch very hard with it. Try to be pretty careful. Trying to think. I didn't shim the rear end. It's got perfect pinion angle. I mean, it's down a little bit, but there's a good bit of angle on that. My aftermarket motor mounts and transmission mounts. There's a Facebook page called 92 to 96 F-150 or Ford truck owners. The guy sells aftermarket motor mounts, and he uses, oh shit, you're not gonna be able to see it, but they're fucking beefy as shit, and I believe they use leaf spring bushings in them, like the same ones that are in there. I believe that's what they use. They are a fucking lifesaver. I can come off the clutch so hard if I need to, and motor doesn't move at all. I probably broke like, I don't know, 5 or 6 stock motor mounts where I was like, all right, there's got to be an aftermarket option. And sure enough, I found him. They're like $200, but well worth the money. And as you can see, the rear end sits perfectly straight in the wheel well. You can tell the front end's moved forward a little bit. As far as updates on the truck, that's all we got. Let's see, 12 inches of lift in the front, and then 10 or 11, give or take, in the back, something like that. Oh, I got CP Attic clear tail lights. These are fucking awesome, I love them. I got the clear dome light up there. Let's see, they're clear. And then they got red LED bulbs in them. Love these things, they're awesome. And then that just works as a brake light. Oh, I got a rear bench seat out of a F250 or 350, I think it was. Perfect fucking shape. Like, there's no tears or nothing. It's not even sunk down. Everything under is just perfect shape. Oh, kind of my icing on the cake. Bought those from a dude on eBay. Thought that was the coolest shit ever, since, you know, if you've been following this build, you know this thing's completely custom, and I even topped it off with the custom dash trim. And I'm probably gonna be putting carpet in here, or maybe vinyl flooring, I don't know yet. I believe that's about it. Oh, I did take the brush guard off. I think you saw in one of my last videos where I was wheeling it a little bit. Took the brush guard off, and I like it better with that and without it. And plus, you know, it being so high up, there's really no reason to have a brush guard. It may go on that truck whenever that thing gets up and going. That thing's still around, but I'll post a video of it later. It needs a lot of work. But anyway, yeah, that's update on the truck. Got any more questions about this build, or if I didn't cover anything about the solid axle swap, just leave a comment or follow me on Instagram. It's Big Tommy Boy 6996. Snapchat's Big Tommy Boy. I had a couple guys from YouTube follow me on Instagram, and I actually made some pretty good friends out there, you know, doing this. Buddy of mine, we're real good friends now. He's got a F150 like this, but it's a short bed, 2-wheel drive, and he actually watched my videos and ended up swapping his truck to 4-wheel drive with the TTB front end like I did on this one. So thought that was pretty cool. He's from Jacksonville, Florida. I actually live in the very bottom of South Carolina. He came up and we met and hung out for a little bit. Went over a few things on the build. He's still building his right now. So then I got a couple other friends, you know, made through building this thing. So yeah, that's about all I got for it. Like I said, if I missed anything, just feel free to leave a comment and ask away.